Another brew. Today's going to be another brew day. Forget what sheet we're looking at. 35, 36, something like that. Okay, today's Brew Wednesday. We're doing a Pendulum Plum. This is batch number 36. Some of the ingredients in the Pendulum Plum I'm going to spill out here. Let's, in case somebody wants to try to make it up by themselves, you know, it's up to them. I use 6-row malt, caramel 40. I use 2-row malt, honey malt, carapils, white wheat, carrot red, some barley, and some oats. And then it gets finished off with some plum puree. At the end, as we ferment, we're going to use Warrior hops. To start it off with 2 ounces of Warrior on the boil, and at the last 15 minutes we're going to hit it with an ounce or 2 of Willamette. We're all doughed in. We start at 168 strike water, finish at 158, perfect temperature. I wanted to be between 156 and 158. We came in right at 158, perfect. So I wrapped the mash tun in my blanket here. It's a wool blanket. Just helps it keep it a little warmer and keeps it at that perfect temperature. We don't lose too much temperature. And now we get to take a little break before the verloft. 1 hour mash starts now. 4 on the final as we start our verloft. Start the verloft process here. Oh, that smells delicious. Absolutely delicious. I'll seat the grain bed by the verloft process here, if I don't drop it. That's a nice color. This is the Pendulum Plum. We've had this before, and it didn't last long because it was delicious beer. Delicious. Shut that off. It's going to drip on the floor. Come up here. Dump her back in slowly. Not to disturb the grain bed. And you want to verloft maybe 1 or 2 of these just to settle the grain bed is the main reason that you do this. Oh, not too much. Not too muchy fall in there that time. We'll come down, we'll open her up again. I usually do 2 pitchers. Like I say, the temperature came right in at 154, 155, almost 154.5 actually. That's exactly what I was shooting for an end temperature. So I must be getting better. And then we do, I run this through a funnel anyway, as it goes into the boil kettle, just to catch any other particulates that are going to come in from the grains that they get disturbed a little bit, but it's kind of be expected. You're going to get a little, but you really don't want a lot. I'm pouring this actually fast, but that's good. What you want to do is rinse this out. Keep the sugar content down from different areas because this funnel has a real fine filter in it. We run that through here as we let it go to the boil kettle now. And we'll be boiling roughly 10 minutes. I like to run a slow amount into the kettle here, slowly. And off we go. She's a-running slowly. Speed it up. I'm going to get a Brix meter reading as soon as she's into the kettle and ready to rock. That's a good flow. And I'll use 2 kettles usually so I can get this on the stove, get that boiling right away. And I saved a little water here in case I need to do a sparge. So what actually I'll do is I'll warm that water up now. The burner lights for me. Just in case I miscalculated and we do a sparge on this one. I like to have some water at 180 degrees handy just in case. So yeah, there you have it. She's draining slowly. Oh, it smells beautiful. If this camera can only smell it. Very, 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 very plum beer just came in at 10:53 before pre-boil. Pre-boil. She's up to boiling state right now. You gotta watch she don't boil over with the hot break. And I'm about ready to add the first addition of hops because she's right up there. A lot of maltodextrins and stuff top there. So on the first edition, we're going with what's called a Warrior Pellet Hop. This is a nice tasting hop. And comes from California. That's why here we go with the overflow. Holy cow. Gotta wait a minute or two. Still turning the burner down. Still coming down. As soon as I put these hops in, she's going to cause a reaction to where she wants to really come over. So we'll open this package now. Let's get one of these Rupert jobbers to see if I can do it. There's snow. There we go. It's not easy. Oh, my hands are theoretical. Okay, we're open. I'm kind of open. These are pellet hops, Warrior, I just said before. Oh man, they smell so good. So here we go. First edition, down low. She immediately starts to try to come over a little bit. There's 2 ounces of Warrior. Set the burner on 5. Start the timer. Start the timer for 45 minutes, which we just did. And next edition will be Willowmites we're going to use. Willamite hop. Just got to be careful here. I'll stick with it for a second or two. A little stir here. Boy, I'll tell you, she will overflow if you turn your back on it. I got the windows open here today. And she's hot. I should have turned the air conditioning on because I'm a wuss. There we go. Back up to the boil point. So we'll let this boil for 45 minutes. And we had another addition of 2 ounces of Willamite hops at the end. And she gets its Irish moss, which is a clarifying agent. We put the Irish moss in the last 15 minutes. And then she goes over to the wort chiller. And a lot of people put their wort chiller right in the wort at the last 15 minutes to boil and let it sterilize that way. I put it right into my sanitizing solution here. I find you can't go wrong to take it right out of there and go right into the cool down period with no ill effect. I've been doing it this way forever. I even spray the top hoses just to make sure that everything's got that sanitation on there. I'm checking to see if I sprayed the lens of the camera because I've done that before too. So yeah, I do it in the I sanitize it like that, and I can pull it right out of there, and I'll stick it onto the sink. Oh, what a mess here. It clips on the bottom of the sink here, and goes under the hose here. And I'll get the cold water going through it, and uncool it right here. Boy, beautiful breeze we got coming through the yard here today. Wow, she's really blowing. Ah, nice and cool here. Otherwise, I'm putting humidity in the air, which isn't that good. But yeah, that's the way I do it. It's a fail-safe method. And we'll drain this fresh sanitizer down into the main kettle, which has got good sanitizer in it too. I'll use that for bottling. Now one or two different brews we'll bottle with that because it's good. We check the pH on it, and it lasts quite a long time as long as it's clean. I filtered it with a filter. Nothing more than a piece of cheesecloth is what I use, but she goes good. So back into the boil point here. We're another 15 minutes before I got to put another addition of hops in there. She's coming along good. Just gotta watch it don't come over. Take your time. No rush, and there's my phone, so we got to go answer that. It's the last 15 minutes of the boil. So, well, I better have my hand on the burner again. I'm going to add the hops. This is the Willamette hops, Willamite, if I'm saying it right. They're in. They're a good hop. The flavor and aroma is going to be floral with a herbal, fruity type of flavor on these Willamites. Of course, that's what it says right there on the package. I was reading that. That's not hard to do. Stick this back in the fridge. Get our yeast out. Oh man, one of our favorites. And it's time for a cap of Irish moss, which helps with clarity. That's in. And timer's been started for the last 15 minutes. Put these away in our spot. Alright, we'll set our timer here. Yeah, 15 minutes and start. So the countdown is on. I'm going to get the wort chiller hooked up. Sanitize this prune juice again. Puncture the lid. Get a final reading with the bricks meter. 1060 just did. So yeah, let's get this wort chiller hooked up because that's next. It's not hard to do. Just stick it on there, screw it on. Use the pliers to give it a final turn. Tightness, you know how that works. Get that out of the way. Be prepared that everything turns. I got my spoons held down by my hose, return hose is held down by the spoon. So I should be good to go. I've said that many a times. That doesn't make it true though. You might be good to go and you'll forget something, Don. Here we go, flame out. Flame out. And it's time to get... Oh, that's heavy. The kettle worked. Oh. Here's the timer. Close the valve, which I'm going to do that right now. That's closed. I'm going to shake the rest out. Ready to transfer with the wand. Pull the gauge out. Get the yeast in. Everything's closed. I got to get all this ready. The tree guy is coming to trim the tree. Of course, you'll see that. Guy's going to trim the tree for us. Finally, we get this done. It's overhanging the garage. Something terrific. So, I'll be here about 4 o'clock from what I understand. So, I got another 2 hours to go. Plate with my beer. Clean up my mess. So, on to the transfer. Let's see what the gauge says. Pull it right out. 88, 90. Should be just a little cooler. Energizer in. Pitching of the yeast, which is nothing special. Shaker in on top there like that evenly. Sprinkler about. Take your sanitized cover. Remember to clean that O-ring in there. Pull that out and clean that because there could be some stuff left behind there. I always take out my O-rings and I clean behind them and then put them back in. That way you know they're done. Cover on. Check to make sure the handle's out of the way of the thing here. There, you can put the camera down for a final lockdown. Maybe I have to just squeeze around now. Squeeze around now. Take this to where you're going to store it. Take your sanitized bubbler, stick it in the hole, and that's it.
Oh, are you sure?
Holy shit.
I'll take a taste of that one now.
Look at the sun though, it is hot out today.
I can do a session or two.
Chris is going to be happy. You didn't have to pay for it.
You don't have to pay for it.
I'll send him a bill maybe. What the hell? Man, I couldn't get up that high. I'd have a nosebleed on the third run.
I bought it not realizing it was electric. It around a lot.
Yeah, we had one in our backyard as kids, and man, what a pain in the dick it was.
And we took it down. It was about this size. We took it down ourselves. Of course, you can take on the world when you're 14 years old. You know, holy shit, there's no stopping. Yeah, I got up there. I can't do that now. Got to pay attention to Mr. Barkey over here. It's Mr. Barkey. Doesn't miss me? I got to keep you chained up. I don't want you to get hurt. Oh, yeah. That's what I wanted. Good job. He sees what I wanted.